And it is a Terran versus Terran. And the first map is going to be Varney Research Station.
Well, this is going to be a great one. It is. I'm right now thinking though, Varney, I mean, it is kind of streamlined map. I'm not going to be surprised if you see some aggressive openers because of that open area. But of course then, Marine tank, very common, something Major loves. But you know what? We're getting into the map right now. We're just loaded in. So let's get on with it, I guess.
Yes, sir. So anyway, guys, as you can see, we are here. And our first player here to the north, it is going to be our player in the blue. Has the Root logo, actually? I'm not sure. No, oh, never mind, I mixed them up there. It is going to be Root Kelazhur.
Yeah. Don't be so surprised.
Oh, I was like, wait, am I in the wrong? He has an opponent, not a teammate, in the red. It is going to be none other than Major, who has been on route multiple times. So I was so close.
Yeah.
So close.
Well, right now seems like nobody. And as I say that, never mind. Major is going for some shenanigans right away, sending out an SCV here on 10. And, well, it looks like he's rallied it to get to a good Reaper positioning, but it doesn't look like the best position to go for that proxy rack, so it's pretty late.
We'll see, you know, like, if we see a gas from Major here, then definitely going to be that proxy Reaper play, but we'll just waiting right now. Kelazhur, on the other hand, what is he doing? Racks back at home. No gas first here. Grabs that gas right off the rack. So it's going to time out fairly well if he wants to be going into standard factory play. But here we go. Major. First barracks has started. Gas should be taken here shortly, and there we have it. So, well, Proxy Reaper versus whatever Kelazhur decides to do. We'll see if he goes Reaper right into that factory.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a racks into gas from Kelazhur, so it should just be standard Reaper. Now, Majors should be about the same timing, I want to say, even later. So I'm not really sure what he wants to accomplish with this. Is he to go for the Marauder play instead? You could do that.
That's actually, yes, could definitely be Proxy Marauder. Get that concussive shell. And then, no way for those Reapers and Marines to get away.
There we go.
Oh, yep. So, it is going to be Proxy Marauder, Alex. And Major starting off this series with a bang.
He is, and now this is interesting, because this is one of the builds that can fall to some things. For instance, if your opponent was to rally Reaper right across your structure, which is about to happen.
Yeah, this is going to get a bit weird right off the go, or get-go of things, because, I mean, a Marauder is very tanky, so a Reaper has a hard time dealing with it. As he comes down and he sees this, what is the reaction from Kelazhur going to be?
Well, I would say, you know, you need to get the high ground ASAP. You probably want to wall it off even to make sure that the Marauder doesn't just come up. Now, it's a bit late for that.
Whoa.
So, the Marauder was going to focus that SCV. If he gets up in the bunker, though, that's going to be very
Actually, look at this. He walls it off. He walls it off, Alex. Excellent play here from Major. And he's going to start getting a couple of SCVs.
I mean, yeah, but that's Major's. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, well,
That's
I mean,
Major's engineering base, so he can cancel that to make sure he gets in later.
Oh, this is so sick. Really smart play right now for Major. Back at home, this Reaper is coming in, so right now he is forced to pull these SCVs off the line of mining, and he's have to make sure to micro these well in order to not lose any. But I mean, the pressure is on right now, all on Kelazhur.
Yeah, so here's here's why it's so interesting. Now it comes down to micro effects, because Kelazhur must defend at home. He got the bunker up, which is being focused on, which he needs to repair, make sure he doesn't lose too many SCVs. At the same time, though, he needs to micro reap against these SCVs being A-moved. This is almost like a multitask train, it looks like. Now, here's the thing. Major needs to go past this bunker. He can't be losing Marauders.
Oh, no, that's true. But, I mean, one Marine has made it in, and one of these Marauders is getting lower and lower. But already we have 10 SCVs down here for Kelazhur. So he's actually down by 6 workers. The Reaper, though, still holding on strong here in the base of Major. Factory has started as well for a Red Terran, who's now bringing his Marauders back home. I think he's very happy, though, with this economical damage that he's initially done.
I'm really surprised that they didn't just cancel the engineer, like gather up a few more Marauders, cancel that engineer bay and go up, because there's no way for Kelazhur to really wall off. So I think Major a bit afraid of this Reaper, and he might feel, as you say, that he's far enough ahead, they can actually just do this and kind of take the game from that, but I'm a bit surprised.
Nonetheless, Alex, like excellent damage here from Major, and he might actually even catch this Reaper. 2 Marauders do swing in here. There we go. The power of that concussive shell will catch up and get the kill. So, very strong start here from our Red Terran in this first game here on Vani.
So here's the problem though. Major stays on one base while Kelazhur has 2 command centers. So that SCV lead you talked about is really nice. It's really important here for Major. But then again, he only killed 3 more workers than his opponent. His opponent is going to crank that double SCV count very, very quickly. Kelazhur has the quickest starport, and although it probably will get scouted by these barracks, it's still Kelazhur's lead here, I feel.
Yeah, that's actually a very important thing that you bring up. I mean, he will have that double SCV production. Being a little annoying here with these Marauders will knock down this depot. Does supply block Kelazhur. So, nice little move there from Major. Here's going to be a bit of an issue though. Cloaked Banshee on the way. If Kelazhur can just hold on now, he's going to be in an excellent position. Major is grabbing a Viking back at home though, so I do like this from him. He's sort of realizing that, well, he didn't do enough damage to outright kill his opponent, so there will be some sort of transition, and the most common one would probably be going into those Banshees. So nice response there, going into that Viking straight off the bat.
Yeah, I even saw the starport there for a second, so he probably knows what's most likely is coming out here. You can't know for sure unless you see that tech lab researching, but well, the Viking goes straight across the map here. I think he's kind of misreading the situation. The Bash is going to come in here, and there's nothing to fire upwards, even though the cloak hasn't finished, and that would go.
This is going to be rough. No anti-air defense. The Raven is going to come out of this starport. Sure, it can drop a turret, but he can just, you know, leave the vicinity of it. And now with this Viking, I think it was actually going to try to catch the Banshee, you know, as it was leaving the base of his opponent. Sort of backfiring here, actually, and Major now suffering quite significant economical damage.
8 more kills so far by Kelazhur, really good amount to start off with, and now he realizes that this Banshee most likely is going to go down, so he just suicides it in and gets 10 kills in total. That's a great number. I think, yeah, he got a second one, but that is going to be it for now. No more in production, even switched the production facilities here for the add-ons, and it looks like he's going into Kelazhur, that is going into bio.
Yeah, I mean, wait, what is he doing? He's moving his starport. I thought he was gonna wanted to drop that down on the reactor, but no. Gonna build a second one here, so probably see one of these racks float on over. He's adding in siege tanks now as well to complement his force. Looking to catch another Banshee here, and he's gonna find it, Alex, with this Raven as well. So Cloak is not gonna be able to keep this one alive. Good catch there. Very important catch, actually, there for Major, because, I mean, he's already suffered considerable economical damage himself, even though with that aggressive opener doing fairly well. Still falling behind just because of that really quick second CC from Kelazhur, realizing that he had held.
Yeah, and although Kelazhur lost both his Banshees, I have to say, trading each Banshee for 5 SCV kills each, if you spread them out, I spread out the counts, I'd say it is still pretty much worth it. And now we see Kelazhur being ahead at 8 SCVs, it's a good count, and he's already getting his 3rd command center, so everything looking really solid here for Kelazhur. Now Major is still not in the position where he's added the infrastructure, so we don't know if he wants to add more factories soon, because he's still cranking out those Vikings, but if he wants to go bio, he needs to add the barracks right away, because his stim hasn't even started.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, very important. The Major perhaps been a bit indecisive, but right now he's going to focus on this drop. 3 Hellions in this Medivac, actually in a not the best angle here, so they only get a single SCV kill. And that's going to be it now. Loses one of these Hellions. Is going to boost out here. Perhaps pick off the SCV constructing that command center. Slow that down a little bit, but still, nonetheless, it's not going to be enough here. Kelazhur is just going to continuously pull ahead in the economy. And, well, right now he's looking very comfortable.
So, while Major, you know, known as the king of TVT, is right now struggling, I want to say. He's not as behind as you might think still, because although we see Stim on the way, we see +1 on the way for Kelazhur, this is the kind of map where you can get back. Because if this was let's say it was on a huge full-play map where you can drop really easily, where you can force base rate, etc. It's one of those maps that it's really hard to come back into. Well, this is kind of the map where you have to push across the entire map into your opponent's defense. So I want to say, you know, this is most likely going to come into at least the late mid-game, to say the least. But, well, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a hard call.
Yeah, definitely. Another drop attempted, by the way, from Major. Not doing anything. The two Hellions do fall to that siege tank. And right now he's just spread out these Marauders under Hellion on the map. Maintaining fairly good map vision, so he's going to at least know where if Kelazhur tries to move out on him here. He's just setting up defensively, though, with these siege tanks and a handful of bio.
Yeah, well, Major right now needs to do something about this third base of Kelazhur, which is already set up. He's getting his own orbital right now, but that is a bit later. Now, Kelazhur is getting his armor finished up a bit late, I want to say, but his armor is started, and he's going to have his +2 starting in just a minute or so.
Want to mention here for a second that now, with Kelazhur having Stim and the upgrade advantage, perhaps could be looking to go for a bit of a timing attack, you know, towards the third base of Major once he sees he's trying to secure it. Raymond does come in here, drops a couple of these sentry turrets, not really going to do too much. Does force a big stim though on Kelazhur's army, so that's always nice, you know, try to hurt it by forcing those stims.
So, Kelazhur, as he's coming in right now, if he doesn't see a stim for Major, that might be a good tip-off. Now, he's going to see as well, this is bio tank, but if he doesn't see a +1, that's a big talent. Oh my god, if he gets a few tanks, that's a big pick-up.
Two siege tanks, loses a marine and gets out of there. Wow. Excellent drop here from Kelazhur, getting a lot of value, and he got the scouting as well. One thing though, Alex, that would have me a little concerned, I guess, is the fact that he generally only saw tanks. I don't know if he saw the marines actually swing in there. So, like, if he only saw the siege tanks, imagine him thinking, oh wait, I'm up against mech.
I don't know, man. I think he saw those marines. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, let's hope so, at least, you know, for his sake.
Yeah, I think he got it. I think he got this. He even saw the barracks being built. So
okay. Well,
3 barracks, that should indicate enough. Now,
yes.
Here's the thing. Although Kelazhur was ahead in the +1 department, we're going to see Major with the earlier second and nearby kind of catch up, as he's now catching Major on the map.
Well, this is looking pretty bad right now for Red Terran, losing a lot of units right in the middle of the map. They were not even fighting. They were gunned down as they were trying to retreat. So, a couple of free units there, actually, for Kelazhur. And he's going to be moving towards this third base. A Major darting on forward with these tanks, trying to get a good position. And this is actually a pretty bad angle for Kelazhur to engage in, taking a lot of that siege tank fire.
At the same time, we see that Raven once again starting to kill off a few workers. I like this from Major. He's just buying time, keeping Kelazhur back. He has the map, rather the air control, and well, he's just doing everything he can while Kelazhur kind of feels that he needs to push into this.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure on both of these guys. A couple of SCVs do go down to some of these siege tanks. Now dots on forward. Still, like you said, that air control is so important here. Moves on a little too far and ends up losing a handful of marines there as he trades off for Viking. But I mean, he's laying siege to the left-hand side or the north side of this mineral line, so it's going to make things a lot harder for Major to continue mining operations in this third base.
Yeah, a lot of SCVs went down there, and Major wants to go in here. I'm not sure if he wants to though. For real, because that's a lot of marines going down, although all those medevacs do help. They don't help enough.
No, that was a bit of a misstep there from AJ. I think he was overestimating the number of units he had compared to those of Kelazhur, and ended up giving away the majority of his bio forces, and well, that's generally not a good thing to be doing.
No, well, we're gonna see here, because Major losing all those marines needs to kind of be defensive. Now here's the thing in TvT, if you start getting a defensive, often it's not really enough for your opponents to just go for the straight up push right into you. In that case, he needs to have the air control. He might go for Doom Drop to kind of finish off, or he goes for very rapid expansion. Right now we see a 4th already for Kelazhur. He can even set up a 5th if he wanted to, because of the kind of lead he has. And
yeah, I like this.
Yeah, and all the mules you get from that, you can actually start just focusing on your army instead of that kind of SCV count as well.
That's very true.
Oh, this is dangerous though.
Okay, big load up here.
Oh,
He's
really
going to catch it. barely gets a medevac. He's boosting out of there now, so suddenly Major will have to respond. Does he have anything in position? A couple of Marines will come out of these production facilities, but they are not in time to catch any of these medevacs, and almost everything unloads. And here we have siege tanks on the high ground, tanks on the low ground as well. And Major pushing up over his ramp. He is actually knocking down a lot of this, but Kelazhur going for the drop right on top of these siege tanks. Going to be able to gun these down, and right now he's got a dominant position right on top of the production of his opponent and taking a vast supply advantage here.
Yeah, beautiful engagement here for Kelazhur, and every second the Major waits means that he's going to lose more of his
Oh,
infrastructure.
no.
Most of these barracks are going down, and here we go. Major needs to push into it, and he's going to clean this up, but that's just eventually. Now Kelazhur has to run back, but he's just already rallying more troops across the map, and he's looking towards this third base. Right now we see that Kelazhur doesn't just trade armies with Major, but also kind of resets the count with a superior economy, meaning that he's just taking a big advantage by the second.
Now keep in mind as well, you know, he was right on top of that production, brought down a racks or two, and he's doubling the racks count of Major. So not only does he have more money and better upgrades, but he's going to have the ability to produce more units. So eventually Kelazhur, now on a very hard timer, is eventually going to just get overrun.
So right now, Major needs to do something. I think he's trying to just play his game and feel that he can win by his strengths, but I'm not sure if that's enough by now. Now, we've seen some pretty crazy moments where you can just go for that kind of doom drop and hope for it to work, but we already see a few of these missile turrets being set up in the natural of Kelazhur, and that sense tower just helping so much. Same for Major though, so he's going to be ready for the next kind of doom drop that Kelazhur tries.
Now we still have that section of land though, as you guys can see here, where he decided to go for that first initial big drop. Still completely open. We'll see. Kelazhur looking to find that angle once again, and actually these armies sort of circumventing each other. Scans go down so they know the positions. And, well, right now Major is out of position to deal with this. Tries to go with a bit of a sandwich, but I don't know if that is the correct call. He needs to be so careful with how he engages this.
Oh, but Kelazhur's taking the best engagement, to be honest. He stands right into the fire here of Major with a great concave, and he's taking damage from that siege tank.
Forced to cancel on that 4th command center, though.
Well, that's a bit painful. I'm not sure, though. I mean, Kelazhur lost so many Marines because of that. I'm not sure if it was worth it. Now Major looking for the wraparound. If you manage to kill the siege tanks here for Kelazhur, we're going to see Major actually taking a big lead in siege tanks.
Yeah, but I mean, still, he's going to be able to intercept this reinforcement. But is it going to be is it going to be too much here? We'll have to see. No, looks like Major will be able to overrun this. So right now, the army of Kelazhur is a little bit isolated. But Major needs to be careful himself to not give up these medevacs and these marines in the center of the map. If they get trapped between this little army here and the one to the north, I mean, they would be in a lot of trouble. They do manage to avoid it for now, though.
They do. I mean, it is difficult to push into fire tanks, but they're not perfectly spread out. They're pretty much on top of each other, so dropping on top of them will be extremely effective. Now, Major getting this watchtower is going to make sure he sees when the army of Kelazhur does arrive, and here we go. So Kelazhur now not going to have the element of surprise, but he does have the great army, and that's a pretty good advantage.
Yeah, it's going to force Major back here. More medevacs and a tank as well. Oh, look at this, darting on forward there with that +3 attack already in operation. He's going to be able to isolate that right-hand flank. And now Major trying to go for a drop here, but the medevac full of units does get taken out. And still, contained on these 3 bases versus the 4 of his opponent. Major in a very, very rough spot.
He is, and Kelazhur right now is just kind of choking at his opponent almost. Major trying to keep a track of his opponent's movements here by having a Marine at the gold base, but I mean, Kelazhur can take any base at this moment, and Major's still stuck on his 3 base economy. Kind of mind, or actually 100% mine dry his main, soon to mine out his natural. Just right now, losing more and more by the moment.
Managed to clean up the group of units here on the left-hand side. So that was fairly nice. But still, like, even if you trade efficiently in terms of value, you're still going to be falling behind just because not having that 4th command center is hurting Major so much. And now with this big drop once again, Kelazhur with that max is going to go for a massive air armada here, but there are so many turrets. Is this a bit of a misstep here from Kelazhur? We'll have to see how many of these medevacs are going to go down. A ton! Manages to unload a lot of these troops, but still, a lot of medevacs have fallen. But this is an excellent position right now for Kelazhur in the natural of Major.
Yeah, the thing is, most of those medivacs going down were medivacs that weren't loaded with any units whatsoever. Now that Major tries to push in here, boost the medivac that was having units inside of it. And, well, all that Kelazhur kind of has to do right now is kill for as much as he can, and then he can just lift up if he wants to. He harasses with his forces to the left-hand flank as well,
man.
so he's spreading Major thin, and he knows he's up in army. He just wants to straight here a bit, and he's going to do so. Might even stim it right on top of those tanks, and that's too much for Major.
Yeah, went right for the kill there. Very nice move to send those reinforcements to the far left, managing to take down that 4th command center. And even though I don't think it would have mattered too much, Major was, gonna say, he was kind of dead, you know, from the moment that that big drop went down, because he was just behind it every single department. And